Hey guys, oh, it's cold. I heard there's a protest going on in front of Costco South on Wellington Road. So I'm going to see if my son wants to go for a ride. We're going to go up there and see if we can't talk to somebody and get their perspective on things, see what they're protesting and what it's all about. So let's go for a ride. We're out here at Wellington Road, London South, where the protesters are protesting the lockdowns. And we're going to try to get someone to do a little quick interview and get some insight about what they think's going on. This fellow's named Sean. He's handing out flyers to try to inform everybody what's going on. All of this is volunteer. The papers, everything that's being done is volunteer. Seems to be quite a few people taking the papers. Like I said, it's not a big protest, but it is pretty cold out here, so I give these guys credit for standing out here. You can see the camera's a little shaky. It's cold. The wind's bad. So I hope when I interview Sean, the wind doesn't get in the way of the audio very much. I'm standing here on Wellington Road, Costco South, with Sean. He's one of the ones out here trying to inform people with what's going on. So how long have you been out here for, Sean? How long have you guys been out here?
Well, today or
in general, just in general.
Altogether, we started this these little protests. We call them protests with a big effect, because there's not very many of us that can come out a couple times a week. So we'll come in at a busy intersection, and we started this about 2 months ago.
Okay.
Over here, anyways, at this spot, and yeah, it's very effective. There's a lot of people that they're realizing they're not getting the whole story from mainstream media. That it's just a lot of people are saying they're being fed propaganda. So we're here getting information out old school. So there's a lot of information on all the topics that are concerning a lot of people that are being affected by lockdowns, by the rollout of these vaccines, the fraudulent PCR tests, masks that are actually causing a lot of people grief. They can't breathe properly. They're breeding ground for bacteria. And so we're out here just giving people an alternative information that is so far it's being silenced. A lot of information is being taken down from Google and YouTube. So I think we're making a real big difference. There's a lot of people that are very curious. They know something is amiss, and yeah. So we're just doing what we can while we have some time.
Yeah, there definitely is a strike on freedom of speech as far as the internet goes and YouTube. They only want to promote one side of it. So what is actually in the flyer itself?
Well, this paper here, it's a 12-page paper that there's a gentleman in Toronto. He had some time and he decided that there's so many people hungry for information. He thought he put something together, and it's all done by volunteers. So people from all across Canada, and there's actually some people that will submit from other parts of the world, and they'll look over it and see if it's relevant to what's happening today, and they'll go over it and they'll publish it. Yeah, and it's a very effective way to get information out that people are demanding.
Yeah, these protests are going on all over, literally all over the world.
Well, that's the other thing too. There was a huge one March 20th all over the world, millions of people involved, and what did you hear in mainstream media? Nothing. Silence, like crickets. Nothing.
Well, I did actually hear one. They were talking to one in British, and they said there was maybe a couple hundred people, but it was quite evident from the video I'd seen there was thousands of people there. So they downplay it, right?
Absolutely. So when it's people like yourself that. You can't trust the mainstream media anymore. We are the media. You are the media. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for noticing us.
And that's what drove me to start this whole channel, was the disinformation people were getting. And in the beginning of this, I bought into it. But then as things played out, things just didn't make sense. Like our government has an immigration goal of this year of over 400,000 immigrants during a pandemic. I did the math on that. If every one of them are quarantined for their 3-day stay at the luxury motels, That is over $500,000 a day. For that, if you work out the 400,000, divide it down to how many that would have to be, it's over 1,000 immigrants per day. Do the math on that for the average cost of a motel. That's huge taxpayer money. So I question, how bad is this pandemic?
So Canadian taxpayers, we're not allowed to go anywhere. To go down south to get some vitamin D, that's banned, right?
Yeah.
But you can have all kinds of immigrants coming here. I have nothing against immigrants. This is what built this country, but they're coming over, like you say, when we're shut down. There's no jobs. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of businesses have gone under. Who's going to pay for them? All right, and that's the other thing too. And it looks like the politicians in power, they're spending like drunken sailors, putting this country in such a debt that we'll never be able to repay it. Their goal seems to be where they just want to keep slapping on more and more and more debt.
Yeah.
And that was one of the papers, the Great Reset. You probably heard John.
I did a video on the Great Reset actually, and I do think that's where this is heading. And it's going to be less freedoms. What was their great saying in that? By 2030, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
But you'll be happy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not happy. That's for sure.
I'm not happy now with the way things are.
No, and it's I'm doing this mostly for the younger generation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had lots.
They're the ones that are going to pay for this.
Yeah, they're psychological warfare. They feel like they can't approach their grandmother. They're being taught that they're going to kill grandma and grandpa. And nothing could be further from the truth. I saw a really good speech yesterday by a 92-year-old lady, and she survived the Holocaust. And she said this is much worse than what she experienced. She said it's at a global scale, and the detriment to children's health and their psychological damage. And it had everybody crying. And this is from a 92-year-old lady. That was just amazing.
Yeah, and that's the Church of God out there in Elmer has been doing some stuff out there too, right?
Yeah, fantastic.
And
they're not just playing church. They really believe in what they're doing, and they know people need it for their soul.
And I think that in part, some of the people out there have grandparents or even parents who went through some of this stuff that went on in Germany, right? And they're seeing some of the same patterns happen here.
Yeah. Apparently there was a lady that spoke up there as well. Same situation. She was an elderly lady that went through the war. Yeah.
It's a bad situation for everybody. And I think the government has taken full advantage of this.
Yeah. And like you said, at the beginning of this, when they said 2 weeks to flatten the curve, sure.
Yeah.
But now it's been a year. It's been a year to 12 months to flatten the middle class, and that's what's happened. Yeah, the middle class is dying. It's drying up.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out of work. It's killing people. It is literally. But they won't talk about the side effects, the drug overdoses, the suicide rates going through the roof. They don't talk about any of the consequences of these actions.
I just saw a study. Suicides are up 30%.
30%.
Yeah.
All right.
It's very sad.
Well, thanks for your time, Sean.
Well, there you have it. It was a small protest from the time I was there. I didn't video everything I was there. The people seem to be genuinely interested in what's going on, which is great. The more knowledge that people have, the easier it is for them to make decisions that are best for them. He did mention in that the Barrington Declaration. I did a video on this a while back. It's about the World Economic Forum with Klaus Schwab. They talk about a lot of different things. It's kind of sketchy, but he makes a comment in that about by 2030 you'll own nothing, but you'll be happy. And that's what Sean was referring to when I guess when we both said it. That's going to lead me into the next video. There's a lot of information that has come out in the last 2-3 weeks, and it comes out daily, to be honest with you, but you're not going to see it on mainstream media. You're not seeing this on mainstream media. Look for the next video. It'll be out hopefully tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.